Rollerdrome's art style is vibrantly velvet, if you get what I mean. The hand-drawn texture of these prismatic playgrounds gives a sense of touch to the game. You're really able to sense the imperfections on the track as your skates blaze across them. The developers are really able to capture the difference between wood, rock, and concrete purely on a visual level. It goes above just changing the color palette and shape. It's the way that each layer is etched with different blemishes based on what material it is. The way there are chips and burn marks in the wood, where skaters would have peeled the flakes off with their shredding, is presented differently from the cracks in concrete where a bullet or explosion might have landed. It's those small touches that give Rollerdrome its more violent edge in a game this colourful. The art style draws heavily upon the aesthetic of French comic book artist Jean-Mobius Giraud. When I look at Mobius's work, and by extension Rollerdrome, it always echoes out of the 1970s to me. It's like an animated version of the original Star Trek series. There's a certain camp to it that works exceptionally well when it's set in the bloodless carnage and carpal tunnel syndrome-inducing stress of Rollerdrome as a fun juxtaposition. Rollerdrome's music is impressive, also reminiscent of 70s music, but with an added synth to go along with the retro-futuristic tone of Mobius's art style. But it also captures the epicness you would need to come with a game where you dodge homing missiles on roller skates while shooting guys in slow motion from mid-air. The practical layout of Rollerdrome's arenas is terrific. They're not littered with obstacles as to break the momentum, but they've always got a ramp or rail nearby if you need to refill your ammo. I'd describe it as wavy, which is also a term I associate with the 70s, but that's purely because when I hear wave, I think beach, and when I think beach, I think Jaws, which brings us back to the 70s. But if you want to see the best scene to ever take place on a beach, look no further than Moonlight, but enough movie tangents. The flow of Rollerdrome's arenas is the level design's biggest strength, so there are some odd hiccups. Pitfalls are an odd inclusion that isn't all that punishing, as you only lose 10 health for falling in one, and just hurts the flow of the game that's so important to Rollerdrome's gameplay. But that's not Rollerdrome's biggest world design problem, not by a long shot. Rollerdrome's main campaign has 11 levels. This is not an issue, as I think more games should strive to be shorter and allow more polish to be put into a tighter product. But with so few levels, how can there possibly be repeated biomes? I don't understand it. There are so many fabulous places you could have set up an arena. A pipe factory, a gold mine, a volcano, or a highway, so why limit yourself to 4 settings? It's disappointing because I want to see more of this art style, and nothing is gained by repeating colour schemes. You don't even have to change the layout of the arena, just the colour and texture. Still, I don't know how complicated it is to make a video game, so I'm aware of my ignorance, which doesn't really justify it, but that's my biggest criticism of Rollerdrome's world design. We didn't see enough of it. Rollerdrome has an art style that stands out from other games. The way it looks so colourful and warm, yet it contains hectic firefights of lead, glass, and shrapnel, is what makes it so endearing. While I wish it weren't so limited in its selection of biomes, Rollerdrome's aesthetic warmed and pumped my heart.